Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Matthew Varga here. In today's video, we're going to go over 7 different ways to help you cut your monthly expenses in half and help you retire in just a few short years. I recently did a video on how to retire early. In that video, I go over the numbers you need to know in order to retire in your 30s. Make sure you go watch that video so you can have a better idea of what you need to know in order to retire much earlier. In that video, one of the key numbers I talk about is your savings rate. This is the percent of your monthly income that you're able to set aside for investing. The fact of the matter is, the higher your savings rate, the faster you're going to reach your goal of retiring as early as possible. One of the main things that determines how much you're able to save each month is your monthly expenses. So in this video, I'm going to give you those 7 ways to help you cut your monthly expenses and help increase your savings rate. If you're new to this channel is all about helping you gain financial independence and retire early through saving, investing, and making money. Whether you're looking to do this through index fund investing or an Airbnb business or just through buy and hold real estate, there is no one-size-fits-all answer for everyone. We've done all of these strategies over the last 5 years, and it's helped us retire in our 30s as multimillionaires. If you're looking to gain more financial freedom and looking to retire early, then make sure you subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on those future videos. Also follow me on Instagram and TikTok where I post more daily videos and updates on our investment journey. So let's jump right in and start with the biggest monthly expense for probably about 90% of us, and that's our monthly housing cost. Whether you are renting or you own your own home, our homes can easily eat up 50% of our paychecks each month. And with the prices of rent and the house prices just going up and up and up, this number is only going to get bigger. The great thing is there are some really amazing strategies out there that you can use to drastically reduce this monthly cost or even eliminate it entirely. If you've never heard of house hacking before, then be prepared to hear something life-changing. House hacking is when you use creative strategies to help get other people to pay for your monthly living cost. I actually did a full video on how to live for free. In that video, I go over different strategies that you can use to get rid of your monthly housing costs, such as Airbnb, secondary suites, or even multifamily investing. I talk about these different strategies in depth, and it will help open your eyes to some of the creative ways that you can get rid of this monthly expense entirely. Once you've completely reduced this monthly expense from your life, you'll be amazed at how much money you're able to put aside into your investments. This one step can easily cut the amount of time until you retire in half. The second tip is to trade in your car. Now I know this is something that anyone looking to reduce their monthly expense has heard time and time again. But it's true, outside of your housing costs, your vehicle expense is for most people their second biggest expense each month. So obviously looking to reduce this cost is going to have a huge impact on your savings rate. Don't get me wrong, I love a nice car with a nice luxury look, but that same luxury car comes with a big luxury payment. Getting rid of this monthly payment and putting that money into investments is going to have a huge impact on your life. You need to look into trading that expensive car in with those high monthly payments and look at getting a good used car that's either completely paid off or has a very low monthly payment. Now, I know the idea of getting rid of that beautiful car is hard to think about, but you need to ask yourself, is that expensive car worth you working at a job that you may or may not hate for another 5 to 10 years? Maybe it is for you, but I would much rather drive a used car with no monthly payments and bring myself closer to financial independence where I can own my own time and not be controlled by someone else who determines if I can take vacations, when I can take vacations, if I'm able to leave work early to go see my kids' school play. I mean, we still drive our used 2012 Jeep Patriot that we bought over 5 years ago. We bought it used for $18,000 and it's been completely paid off for a few years now. We are just now starting to look at getting a newer car like a Tesla, but that's only after years and years of sacrifice that has allowed us to become multimillionaires before we would even think of getting a new car. The third way to cut your monthly expenses is through meal prep and meal planning. I'll be the first to admit that I don't like cooking, and I'm fortunate enough to be with someone who loves to cook, loves to make meals, and I don't mind cleaning up. But before I met Nicole, when I was a young single guy, I would still do meal prep and meal planning every Sunday. I would go to Costco, I would buy chicken and frozen veggies and rice in bulk, and every Sunday I would make my lunches and dinners for the next 5 days. It would be the exact same thing for lunch and dinner. Now, you don't have to be as extreme as I was, but I'm not really a big foodie, so I didn't mind eating the same thing every day. But by doing this, it allowed me to avoid eating out for lunch, avoid coming home from work tired and just ordering food because it's a lot easier. So this had a big impact on my ability to save. Meal planning and preparing allowed me to save over 50% of my monthly income. This helped me to reach my goal of quitting my job and traveling around the world for 2.5 years. The truth is, if I would have spent a lot more money on eating out, I probably never would have been able to reach this goal of leaving my job and traveling around the world and having that experience. The next tip is to review all your monthly subscriptions. I don't know about you, but it seems like we're subscribed to 4 or 5 different streaming services. You need to think beyond Netflix and Amazon Prime, look through your monthly statements and see what sort of subscription services that you signed up for that you've probably forgotten about, any apps that you're paying for, online monthly subscriptions, gym memberships, online storage, music streaming services. You really need to do a thorough deep dive throughout your statements and see what you can cut out and what you no longer need. And don't forget about those yearly subscriptions that you paid for to save a little bit money up front. Make sure you cancel those before that yearly renewal comes into effect. You really need to think about what's important to you and what's not important to you. Do you need to pay for the YouTube subscription or Spotify subscription? Or is it better to just watch the ads, skip through them, and save that money each month? For a lot of us out there, if we were to cut about 90% of our subscriptions, we'd probably be saving well over $100 a month that we could put aside for investing. The next tip is to buy used instead of just buying new all the time. I know this is something that we're trying to get better at. Normally when we do need to get something, we're just conditioned to jump online, go to Amazon, and just order whatever it is we want brand new. But in reality, if we were just to do a little bit of legwork, we could probably save a ton of money if we were to go on Craigslist or Kijiji or Facebook Marketplace. I mean, there's a ton of people on there always looking to sell stuff. They're trying to declutter their home, and you can get some great deals for pretty much brand new stuff. Just for an example, when our daughter Sage was born, we really wanted to get this bassinet called the Snoo. I don't know if you've heard of this thing, but it's like $2,000 after tax, brand new, and your baby only sleeps in it for 6 months. So what we ended up doing is we ended up going on Facebook Marketplace, and we were able to actually find a used one that a couple had only used for 6 months. They weren't having another child, so they just wanted to get it out of the house. So we were able to get this pretty much brand new bassinet for $1,100 without tax. This helped us save over $900 that we were able to invest. And once we're done having kids, we're gonna turn around and I'm sure we'll be able to sell this for pretty much exactly what we paid for it. The other big benefit to doing this outside of just the financial benefit is also the environmental benefit. So instead of just buying brand new all the time, which is using up more resources, more materials, by buying used, you're gonna have a less impact on the environment. So it's good for your pocketbook, good for the environment. That's a good win-win. Next up, we have pay off your outstanding debts. Paying off your outstanding debts is gonna free up a ton of capital that you'll be able to use to invest. I actually just did a video on how to pay your debts off faster. If you haven't watched that video, make sure you go check it out where I give you a step-by-step plan on how to pay your debts off as quickly as possible. By getting your debts cleaned up, all that money that you're spending each month on minimum monthly payments or monthly loan payments can now be redirected and increase your savings rate, and that's gonna help you reach retirement a heck of a lot sooner. So make sure you go watch that full video, and if you have any questions or want any advice, leave a comment down below and I'll be sure to help you out down there. Next up, we have reduce your monthly utilities. I don't know about you, but each month I get my utility bills, and each month when I look at them, I just think, man, why is this so expensive month after month? There are so many things that you can do to reduce your monthly utilities. One of the things that we've been doing recently is we've been switching out our light bulbs for more energy efficient LED bulbs. So every time we have a light bulb burn out, we make sure to replace it with one that's better for the environment, better for energy efficiency, and this is gonna help us save a lot of money over the long run. The same goes for appliances. If you have an appliance that you need to replace, look to replace it with one that's Energy Star rated, higher efficiency. It might cost a little bit more upfront, but it's gonna pay off big time over the years. You can also look to install a smart thermostat. The cool thing with the smart thermostats is that you can program it to change temperatures when you're not at home and then go back up to the temperature you want just before you get home. So the great thing with this is that you're going to save a lot of money on your utility bills by having those hours that you're not at home, have the temperature drop down, because really your house doesn't need to be as warm or as cold if you're not home to enjoy it. So why not set that thermostat, get a schedule going, and that's going to save you a lot of money on your utility bill each month. Another good strategy is to look at your utility company to see if they have off-peak and on-peak hours. So here in our area of Ontario, they have off-peak, mid-peak, and on-peak hours, and the rates that you're charged can vary between 8.2 cents to 11 up to 17 cents. So you can save more than half on your utility bill by strategically using more things in that off-peak hour. And don't forget about your cell phone bill. You should definitely be shopping providers every year or two. Just for an example, we have a friend who recently had 2 different companies competing for her business, and she was able to get a much better plan at half the price. It's easier to just renew your contract with the same company you're with, but by doing the extra legwork, it's going to save you a ton of money over the years. So there you have it, 7 ways to help you cut your monthly expenses in half. Some of these are a lot easier to implement, and some of them will take a little bit more planning and have a bigger impact on your life. The important thing to keep in mind when you're going through this is why you're doing it. Cutting your monthly expenses and increasing your savings rate will 100% guarantee that you can retire earlier. At first, some of this is going to seem really frustrating to you, but after a while, you're going to adapt and you won't even notice it anymore. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed so you don't miss out on those future videos. And leave a comment down below letting me know any savings tips you have or anything that you're doing to cut your monthly expenses. Thank you again for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys next week.